Hello, welcome back to another episode of Leointerviews. Today we have James Colistra with us.
How are you, Leo? It's so good to be here.
Oh, I'm good. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. Tell me about you.
Sure, and I love how you have the Italian pronunciation, which is where my family is from. They say Colistra in Italy. In America, we tend to say Colistra, but I like both, so either way is fine. But let me tell you about myself. And by the way, I think you're so cool. I have two kids myself, and one of them is close in age to you. So her name's Avery. She's going to be 12 in June. I don't know when you turn 12, but probably soon, right?
I turned 12 January 21st.
Okay, so you're a little younger. Are you in fourth grade?
Fifth.
So she's in fifth as well. Okay, cool. So you're on the younger end of the fifth graders though, right? Because
Yeah.
you're born in January. Yeah, so she's in fifth grade, but she was born in June. And then I have another one that's older. Arden is 13, so 3 years apart. I live in New Jersey. Let me think about this. Where do I want to start? I come from the media space. So I was at Forbes, the media company magazine, for close to 10 years. And I was actually laid off from there in January of 2024, which forced me to have this realization that I needed to do something different. It was kind of a nice little push. Sometimes you need that. And I ended up starting my own business, which is now what I'm running, which is called Wonderfish. So Wonderfish started as a marketing agency, and I since have evolved it. It's more of in the public relations earned media space, but I specifically have been focusing on getting my clients podcast interviews, which I think podcasts are such a cool growing space and mechanism for a whole lot of things. Going on podcasts could really help you do a lot of things, which I could get into, but that's what I help my clients with.
Oh, so you have a podcast then?
Yeah, so you could kind of consider Wonderfish like a podcast booking agency. So that's my logo behind me. My wife had that sign made for me. It's actually a real wooden sign. But I would say, yeah, the term is kind of podcast booking agency is what we do. So think of me almost as like a booking agent, right? So I told your dad, I want to get Leo on some other podcasts because it could be a good way to promote. I think it would be a good way to promote your show, because think about where you would want to reach listeners. You'd want to reach them where they are, right? They're already listening to shows. You want to get more listeners. So what I would do for you, for example, is I would get you booked on other shows, especially the other ones that have, because you're big on YouTube is like your big platform, right? Mm-hmm. So you would want to find other shows that have YouTube audiences already built in. And that's what I do I use the term borrowing audiences. And the reason I use that term is because, as I mentioned, I spent so much time at Forbes. I was also at another publisher called The Economist. And one of the things that I learned is that building your own audience, it takes time. I mean, you're young, so you have the benefit of time, right? You're doing this the right way. You're really smart, and you're building it early, and you're building your own audience. But a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs and founders, they don't have the benefit or the luxury of time. They're like, I need to get out there. I need to get my name. I need to be heard. I need visibility. I need to build trust with people. And so one of the ways you could do that is what I help them with is it's called podcast guesting, going on other shows, exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm going on your show. And what you're doing when you're doing that podcast guesting, what you're really doing, as I said, is borrowing an existing audience. So you're finding people that have spent the time, the money, because it does take money sometimes. Time is money too, right? And they've built up an audience, and you're basically borrowing their audience, and then the trust that the host has built up is being hopefully transferred on to you. So that's kind of what it's all about.
Oh, that's so cool.
Thank you.
So basically, sorry.
No, I appreciate it. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so basically, if I wanted to get on someone's podcast, you would be the guy.
I would hope so. I mean, hey, there are other people out there. I mean, I like to say that we are. I hope we're the best when it comes to getting people booked. We are new. Wonderfish is a newer company. Started, like I said, I was laid off in 2024, and I didn't really start. I didn't start focusing on doing the podcast space until probably about 7 or 8 months ago. So it's newer, but because of the fact that it's new, I think it's giving me and my company an advantage in a lot of ways because we're doing things a little bit differently. And obviously in this age of AI, we're able to leverage AI and and use that to our advantage to do a lot of the research. So we're AI first, but I always like to use the phrase, it has to pass the AI test first, but then the eye test last, because AI is never perfect. It can make mistakes. So we're, at the end of the day, we're always listening to the show. We're checking the description. We're making sure it's legit, checking all the stats and everything. And then we help people all along the process. So once we do the research and find the shows, we also, I mean, there's so much more to it than, obviously we have to write the pitch, get you pitched, get you booked. And then we do all this stuff along the process to make the whole experience easy for someone, because most of the people that work with, if not all the people that we're working with, are super busy. They don't have the time. So think about the preparation that goes into a podcast. You need to research the host, think about the questions that they might ask, think about what your answers might be. And we put together a document for them that helps them with that. And then, I mean, these are just some of the steps. Another important step is once the show gets published, we actually take clips and we take the full interview and cut it up into clips. And I'm actually starting to get into a little bit of using AI for that, where, you know, you could do animated clips and you could do a lot of really cool stuff with AI now. So it's not just like, it doesn't just have to be like a talking head or face of like this. We could take a clip from this, and maybe we'll do that. We'll do a little I'll send you a clip of this after, once it publishes, of like, I could animate you and make you, you know, an animation, or make, you know, we could do some cool stuff with it.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I can't lie.
Yeah.
And
actually, I don't want to steal your thunder, because I know you're the one asking the questions, but I want everyone who's listening to stay to the end, because I want to ask you a couple of questions. I got the okay from your dad. I said, can I ask Leo a couple of questions, because he's such a cool guy. You are so cool, and you have really a head start on so many kids and people in the world. So I would love to ask you about what your plans are with what you're doing, and talk a little bit about, I know you have like an academy and stuff, so I want to hear about that.
yeah, well, actually, I feel like the perfect time would be now to bring it up, because
Let's
I
do
love
it.
promoting myself. Hey, we love some extra couple green doll hairs, you know.
Let's do
So yes, we do have the academy, Leointerviews academy.com. It's mainly for parents and for kids. We teach your kids about confidence, structured podcasting. You don't need no camera, light, or whatever. It just, well, you do need a camera, so it could be like an iPad camera, the one that already comes installed. You just,
Exactly.
you know, get on there and just start doing it. You can have like Fathom note taker, or just a note taker, and you can publish it to YouTube or whatever you want to do. But really, it's just mainly to build confidence. And the best part is, you don't really need that much. All you need, like on how I'm kind of doing right now, is just using the built-in installed camera, and then just, you know, interviewing people. And then if you don't know anyone, the perfect thing is you can ask classmates, your dog, your animals, your parents, your teachers. You can ask anyone, and it's just a great way to build confidence.
That really is. And the more you do it, the better you get at it, right? I mean, that's like anything. I think that's so smart. That's really awesome. I love that you're doing that. How does the Leo Academy work? Is it like one of those things, like there's like a class where you meet once a week, or is it just like you kind of watch videos, you know, like a self-paced thing at your own? It's like you know what self-paced is like? You could just watch it whenever you want. Is it like that, or is it like, oh, at 2:00 on Tuesday we're gonna go into this? How does that work?
So currently, right now we're just getting started. It's been open for like a week or so. So how it's gonna work is every once in a while I'm gonna make a video is explaining, hey guys, thank you for everyone being here, blah blah blah. Here's what we're gonna do, here's what we're gonna cover, practice this and build confidence. Maybe in the future we're hoping to do like calls, possibly. I feel like that'd be really good.
Cool. And give everyone the website.
Oh yeah, so it's leointerviewsacademy.com. You can put it in your browser, Opera GX, Firefox, Google Chrome, Safari. Well, if you're using, I don't know, Yahoo, do people still use that these days?
I'm sure someone out there is using it. I'm not using it. I think Yahoo is actually still, if you look at the traffic, I think they still are getting traffic, believe it or not.
Oh my God. I don't even know. No offense to Yahoo, but how are you still alive? Like I feel like we're using Google now.
Exactly.
Starting prices are currently at $197, but they might go up a couple dollars. And when I say couple, it could go up 100, it could go up 3. We don't know. So buy while it's low now before it rises, because, well, you don't really want that. It's most likely going to go up. So buy now before the prices rise.
Yeah, you want to get in. You want to get in early. I mean, this is like a new thing. This is something that's going to develop and it's going to grow. And if someone can say that they were one of the first sort of like founding members of this community or this course or whatever you want to call it, academy, I think that's pretty cool. Because I think you're going places, Leo. I think you're on YouTube. I think YouTube is such a great platform because it gives someone like you the opportunity to grow and to develop. But I could see you doing this. Eventually this could become a show. Like, say, for example, that you get picked up and you're on NBC, CBS, you're doing a show, and someone could say, I was on Leointerviews and I went through Leo's Academy. I think that's so cool.
Currently, we're thinking of, having videos and Zoom calls or whatever that is.
Yeah.
And one thing I forgot to mention, hopefully this pushes our sales. The first 25, right? Families to buy get a 20% off discount. Yeah. So the first, I think 20 to 25 families who purchase get a 20% off discount. So if you guys want that discount, gotta buy now before the other, 25. We love discounts. So if you want a discount on Leointerviewsacademy.com, gotta buy now.
I love it. That's awesome. Very cool.
Oh, thank you.
What is your big goal? I mean, obviously you want to keep building up the show, but do you know what you want to be when you get older?
Okay. I don't know how to really phrase this. This may seem a bit like dumb or something, but so number one, my drawing is really bad. So I'd like to become like a professional animator and also a professional chess grandmaster.
That's awesome. I don't play chess, and honestly, I wish I did. I wish I was smarter that I just like pick up stuff like that so easily. It's like I have to really, really study something to learn it. And I never really picked up. I don't know how to play it, so I need to be more patient with things like that. Like, I don't know how to play poker because I don't have the patience to sit and learn. I'm just like, okay, I'm on to the next thing. But I think people who play smart or people who play chess are very smart. I think it's kind of a known fact. Yeah. So that's really cool.
But yeah, so I feel like that's what I want to probably become when I grow up.
I love it.
What was your biggest challenge and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, my biggest challenge was being let go, being laid off from Forbes. So I use the term layoff because it's different than being fired, but it's still, when you're fired, it's typically because your performance was bad or, you did something wrong or whatever. Whereas being laid off in the business world, it tends to be because of the company either wasn't doing well or they needed to restructure and they didn't need as many people. And that's just kind of the fact of business. And so it's a sad and sort of uncomfortable fact, but it happens, and it happened to me. I was affected by a layoff. So I worked at Forbes for close to 10 years, and one of the things that I did, for better or worse, was I really tied my identity to my role and my job. And that's very common for anyone, right? Because you spend so much time in your job, and that's what you're doing every day. You're spending eight, if not more. I was probably working more on average than 8 hours some days. And, you spend all that time, and you also develop really close relationships and friendships with the people that you work. It almost becomes like a family. Yeah. And so both of those things, tying your identity and just becoming like family, it's like, it makes it much more difficult when something like that happens, when you are laid off and you're basically told, I'm sorry. I'll kind of tell you the story of what happened, and I'll explain why it was a huge challenge. So the day that it happened, so this was January of 2024, I got an email. It was from the human resources. It actually was just an email, or it was an email invitation to a event on my calendar that didn't even have a description. And so it was like, that's the kind of nerve wracking, like, oh, this is weird. Like, what is this about? So that was the first thing that was kind of concerning. But I was thinking in the back of my head, I was like, oh, am I being let go? Like, did I do something wrong? Like, what is going on? All these bad things kind of go through your head. But Forbes, for the most part, even though Forbes was in the media space, which has seen a lot of turmoil and layoffs and, job loss just because of the nature of the way that media has evolved and, the growth of AI and all this stuff. So media in general has had situations like that, but Forbes never really did because we were doing so well as a company. And even through COVID, we didn't have layoffs or anything, but I was still going in the back of my mind. But then I sat down and this was over Zoom, and because I worked from home even after COVID, and it was just a really, like, as a matter of fact conversation. Like, we had to make some really difficult decisions, and we're doing some restructuring, and long story short, your role is being affected, and immediately you're being laid off, whatever the term was that they used. And so I just asked some questions. I tried not to get emotional. I just try to take a deep breath. But the hardest part for me, Leo, is having to tell my kids about this, because you tie your identity to your job, but you want your kids to be proud of you and everything, right? And I felt really bad that I had to tell my kids, because I know how proud they were of the fact that I worked there. But my daughter, the one that's 11 going on 12, she has a lot of empathy, and she cares so much for other people. And I remember the first thing she asked me, or she said to me, was why would they let go of you, Dad? Why'd they get rid of you? You're the best. And she was trying to make me feel better. And I know that's where her heart was. But it actually just kind of tore at me and made me feel a little bit worse, because I was like, oh my gosh, I really let you down. I'm sorry. So I was just I was trying to explain to her, this is just the way that business works sometimes. I know, it wasn't anything about me and whatever. But at that point, it was kind of a low for me, but I felt like it was a push, and it was a reason for me to really drive myself and try my hardest to do everything that I could to make her proud. Both my daughters, my wife, my family, everyone, and make myself proud, right? So that's from then on, I was like, I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to build Wonderfish, and that's what I've been doing ever since. And I've been very lucky to have people in my corner supporting me, including my wife. She was the one who had this sign made for me, and that was a literal and figurative sign, because when she did that, it was kind of I'm backing you, I'm supporting you. Here's a sign, you can put it up in your office or whatever. And so that's kind of where I'm at. And look, I haven't gotten to the point where I'm making what I was at Forbes yet, but every business you have to build something. And I'm lucky that I had some money in savings, and I'm kind of, relying on that a little bit right now. And I'm starting to see momentum. I'm starting to see everything pick up. And so that was my biggest challenge. And I hope that answers your question.
Oh yeah, man. I can imagine must be pretty tough, especially when you have kids, because what do I tell them?
Exactly, that's the toughest part, right? So hopefully you never have to go through that someday. You'll probably be working for yourself, so you won't have to deal with anyone telling you that they're laying you off. But it's rough.
What's biggest piece of advice that you've ever received?
The best piece of advice that I've ever received?
Or best, biggest, however you want to phrase it.
It's actually something that I received recently, and this is sort of an adage, or an expression, and something that comes up in the business world. And I think one of my clients mentioned this. His name is Mitchell. He's a CEO. He's been on the Forbes Under 30 list for his first company. It was called Lentable, and his current company is called Lava. So he's this successful startup entrepreneur. And I always try to take advice from people that are successful, obviously, but it's the advice is to don't marry the solution, marry the problem. So you want to marry the problem, not the solution. And what that means is, for me, the problem that I'm solving is there's actually a bunch of problems in the podcast world. It's very difficult to find shows. To find the right shows. There's 500,000. There's sometimes the communication can be difficult, between the host, and the preparation is difficult. So there are all these problems, and that's what I'm trying to solve. So I'm tying myself to those problems. But the solutions for that, at first I thought I was going to use like an existing off-the-shelf product that has a database that I just go in and I search, and I was doing that for a while. But then I was like, oh, I'm going to build this on my own. I'm going to use AI, and then I built my own. So these are all different solutions that are solving the same problem. And then I was like, okay, this solution is actually really cool. And I was like, I think I could turn this into like a website that people log into and they do the search. So I thought that was going to be the solution, where people could log into a website and they could do the searching themselves. But just in time, you start to realize that like maybe that's not the best solution, because I mean, there's a number of reasons, but more people that I talk to, like, they just don't have time. They don't want to sit there and do the searching. They want everything just handled for them and sent to them. And so you start to learn, you start to kind of realize like, okay, this is the problem that I'm solving. My initial solution for it was this, but I've been testing that solution and I've realized that like this is actually a better solution. So in the business world, the word is pivot, like to be able to pivot, right? You don't have to be stuck to one thing or one way of doing something. And that's kind of what that phrase means, like marry the problem, not the solution, and just being able to be adaptable and be flexible.
Man, that's I've never heard that, and my brain is now flooded with just wise knowledge. Once you said
I'm glad. Hey, I'm glad I have a kid that will listen to me. No, my kids are actually pretty good and they listen. But one of the things that I wish I should actually get maybe my youngest daughter to go through your academy, but she's not shy in any ways. Like she has a ton of
buy before prices rise.
Exactly.
Hey, you'll get 20% off.
She has a ton of confidence, but she doesn't post publicly. I think that's one of the common things is that, I mean, especially for kids, is like that fear of visibility, like public visibility and posting stuff, and you have to kind of get over that, and that takes time. But one of the things that I wish she did, because I've listened to a couple of your episodes, I wish she read more books. I know you like to read. I think that's one of the smartest things you could do. That's how you expand your mind, grow, and you learn and everything. So keep reading, Leo. It's great.
Thank you.
Of course. You like Neatos?
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Oh my God, I have one of this because my daughter gave this to me, but like it's spelled Needoh, but it's basically just like a squishy toy or whatever. But I keep it at my desk when when I'm doing interviews or when I'm working. And I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. I think it's probably maybe it hasn't spread to where you live, but like all the kids in my daughter's class, a lot of them are like obsessed with these, with the Needohs.
I'll tell you one thing I'm obsessed with is this musical instrument. This is a real instrument that is made from Japan. Shout out Japan. They have like some of the best instruments there. Wow. It's called an automaton.
Okay. Wow. What does it sound like?
So basically, it's maybe I can show you after the podcast. But basically, it's this little cute thing, and it has a little stem, and you press this little button, and it makes a sound. And then you can squish its cheeks to, control the pitch of the sound.
Wow, that's interesting. So are you good at playing it?
It hasn't arrived yet.
Okay. That's cool.
I know this one dude who he owns 15 of those. He's obsessed with them.
Yeah. Now, are you into sports? Do you play any sports?
Sports soccer.
Soccer? That's good. Soccer. That's a good one.
I don't know if you can consider chess a sport. Probably not.
Yeah, I mean it's
you move your hand.
Activity. It should be, I guess it's kind of it's competitive, right? It has similarities, right?
I mean, technically, it has to be some form of sport because you are
you're moving,
moving your hand, and your brain's a muscle. So I feel like
exactly
when you calculate the moves, it should be considered a sport.
That's true. They should make it a sport.
Well, before we wrap up the podcast, is there maybe socials, websites, links, or where people can not only find out more about you, but also Wonderfish as well? Yeah, so
for my biggest social is LinkedIn. I am on X. I don't use it very much. I'm trying to build my Substack, but I don't have that many followers. LinkedIn is my biggest one, so you can search James Colistra on there, and maybe you'll put the link in the show notes on YouTube or whatever. But my website is wonderfish.xyz. what I would say is go to my website. One of the things you could do on there is it's called an authority index. You could take it if you want to, Leo. It's kind of like a quiz. You can see what your authority is currently like when it comes to public visibility and going on podcasts and stuff, and it kind of gives you like your own authority index score. So you can go on Wonderfish.xyz. Yeah.
I might have to try that.
Yeah, I also have a free guide on there, so like a free PDF that you can learn all about podcast guesting.
Oh, perfect. Well, as always, we have to do the heart-burning, infernal question that we always ask.
I love it. Let's do it.
Do you think you can handle it?
I think so.
A quick warning, you might have to sign a waiver. I just, as a warning, people emotionally break down because of this.
I think I could do it. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I want you to imagine this. It's the year 5,100, 2,059, 60.
Mm-hmm.
And World War 178 has just happened. The climate is so horrible. All the grass and all the water is dried up. It's like living on Mars, which we've already colonized, but they left us. Because Elon wanted to fly private jet. Anyway. And he left all of us here to die. Everyone is dead except to you. And you see 2 sodas. You have to pick one or the other. Dr. Pepper or Pepsi.
I'm going to go. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Got the Pepsi right here. Got the Dr. Pepper right here. I'm going Dr. Pepper.
Okay, let's go.
I'm gonna tell you about a soda besides Dr. Pepper that's similar. Have you ever heard of Moxie?
Nope.
So look it up. It's spelled Moxie. It's one of the oldest sodas because if you look at the history of sodas, it goes back into like the early, I think 1900s when they used to use it as like a tonic. And I think that's why Dr. Pepper is called Dr. Pepper. Like doctors used to actually prescribe sodas because, oh, your stomach is bothering you, right? This idea of like an effervescent is good for your stomach. It's wild if you think about like how much sugar is in soda and everything. But one of them, and that's why if you look at Moxie on the can,
I'm currently at it on
there's
the
it's like a pharmacist. He's wearing like a white lab coat.
Oh yeah.
Moxie, interestingly, it's similar to kind of to like a root beer, in that it uses I think it's called gentian root, and it's a bitter root. That's root beer uses a different root. I don't know the actual scientific names to it, but gentian root is a bitter root that is used in like bitters, like when people drink like a mixed drink in alcohol, like adults drink mixed drinks and they put bitter stuff in it. So it has definitely like a really strong bitterness to it. You may not like it. You probably won't like it because you're a kid, but some kids do. But I actually like it because it's just unique and different, and it comes from Maine. It's like a New England thing. You could only get it like if you're in a store in like Maine or New Hampshire or Massachusetts. Yeah.
Huh. So Dr. Pepper.
But I like Dr. Pepper better than Pepsi.
Okay. So Dr. Pepper, if I'm correct, is currently at 6 points. But, however, Pepsi is at 2. So Dr. Pepper has a 4-point lead.
What do you like better?
Dr. Pepper, but I think I'd probably go Coke, and then instead of Coke, I'll eat pop. Yeah, that's my lineup.
Yeah, those are both good. Those are both good choices.
Well, it was nice chatting with you.
Yeah, this is amazing. Thank you for having me on. This is awesome, and I'm gonna spread the word about the Academy, and we'll maybe see if we get my daughter to go through that. So.
Oh yeah, and if you do get your daughter on it, remember, first 25 families, including the viewers and you over there, get 25% off when you purchase. But it's only available for 25 families. Then you get no longer a 25% off discount or 20% off discount. So buy fast, and even after that, the prices may rise of the regular price. So buy now before the prices drop out and inflation takes over our shop.
I love it. That's
Okay.
awesome.
Well, until next time, guys. Bye.